Yeah.
You know
Anyway,
what we've been saying at my house?
what?
We've been saying, blaze you,
Blaze you.
blaze you.
It's funny.
People like that one.
I
It
know.
just came out. The clip just came out today.
That's funny. It's
Yeah.
I
Blaze
mean
you.
it's endured in my family for like 20 years, so
Yeah, there's a good reason.
yeah.
Welcome to Friends on Purpose
Where two friends talk about life, love,
and Finding Purpose.
How do you want to do this?
I mean,
I want
I
to
don't-
just say that I chose my thing because of you.
well, I started with one thing and then realized that I might be able to sum this season up pretty well with mine.
Did you pick love?
No, I didn't. That is all to say, no.
Why
but,
don't we tell people actually what we're talking about?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what we call it. Mine's not really a hot take, but we're basically going to school each other on certain subjects in a semi or pseudo academic way, would you say?
I would definitely say,
Okay.
Sarah, consider this entire segment Sarah's science section.
Science section. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of excitement either way. I want to know what yours is, and I want you to know what mine is. So I say, let's just dive in. And
I say you first, because I
Okay.
need to know.
Okay, well, I'm really glad you used the phrase hot take because I've decided to call mine today a cold take.
Okay.
I think you'll see why. So I started thinking I really wanted to do like the history of, or I wanted to do like an object that we might be like, what, that old thing? And then learn more about it.
Okay.
So I did that with air conditioning. And the reason I started with air conditioning will become, I think, more apparent as we talk about it. But before I dive in, I'd like I'd like to do a little quiz, a little trivia to start to see how well you know about the history of air conditioning.
Okay. Wow. This I'm not going to do well.
Good. Eric, air conditioning was originally invented to solve a problem for what industry? A, meatpacking, B, printing, C, textiles, or D, hospitals?
I'm just going to take a guess and say textiles.
Incorrect. The answer is B, printing. The humidity was warping paper and smudging ink at a Brooklyn printing press in 1902. We'll get back to that more. Eric, what pop culture phenomenon exists because of air conditioning? Drive-in movies, late night television, the summer blockbuster, or music festivals?
Drive-in?
No. Before air conditioning, summer was the film industry's worst season. Nobody wanted to sit in a stinky, hot, cold theater. And once Carrier, the leading air conditioner brand in the world, installed air conditioning at the Rivoli Theater in Times Square in 1925, people started flocking to theaters just for the cold air, and the film industry adapted to make summer blockbusters. Okay, we'll do one or two more here. Before the Capitol building got air conditioning in 1928, how did the federal government handle DC's brutal summers? Did they A, just not meet in Congress, B, move their sessions to Philadelphia, C, have federal employees sent home, or D, packed the basement with ice blocks?
Basement?
No, federal employees were sent home when it got too hot. They just didn't work.
Just didn't work.
They just were like, we can't. It's too hot. Okay, lastly, what does an air conditioning unit actually do to the temperature outside the building it's cooling? A, nothing. B, lowers it slightly, the temperature. C, raises it by up to 1 degree. Or D, creates wind patterns.
I don't know. Creates wind patterns.
No, it raises the temperature outside the building it's cooling by up to 1 degree.
Well, okay.
It doesn't just eliminate heat, Eric. It just moves heat. So it takes the heat from inside
It takes the
and
hot
pushes
air
it
and puts it
outside.
outside.
Right. Exactly.
Does it create
And
cold air?
it creates, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So that's just a little bit to wet your whistle. Most importantly, when I was reviewing like inventions or histories of like things that are like more influential than you thought, I picked air conditioning because of its origins in the printing press world for you, because I love you.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We have to have the print shop air conditioned for that very reason. So I'm surprised that I missed it.
Why didn't you know that?
I got distracted by all the options.
Got distracted.
This is why I don't test well.
Transformative this technology is. Okay, so air conditioning designed first and foremost to help the paper industry or printing. What I'm about to demonstrate across a couple of points here is that it not only just like helped the paper industry and it didn't make us feel more comfortable, but it actually has like shaped current American politics, and actually is ever more important as the years go on in our climate crisis. So it's kind of like weirdly at the center of a lot of things, but we never talk about it. So just as a little primer, air conditioning doesn't create cold air, it moves heat. So refrigerant, the same liquid that we are familiar with in our cars and our refrigerators, it absorbs heat from indoor air, carries it outside, dumps that hot air out, and cycles back in. So then the air is cooler. And then it blows that cool air. So it's just constantly taking hot air, dumping it, and bringing back in. And so it moves air. It doesn't actually condition the air in the way that we kind of might think it does. It's made up of a evaporator, a compressor, a condenser, and an expansion valve. And that's same principle as your refrigerator, but just like for your house. And yeah, the important thing is that air conditioners, they condition the inside, but they actually in urban areas have a really negative impact on heat, because it kind of cools you and blows hot air in everyone else's face, and is like measurably has a measurable impact. So what happened to bring us air conditioners? Willis Carrier, he was a 25-year-old engineer in Buffalo. And in 1902, he designed the first air conditioner to solve the humidity at a Brooklyn printing press. The ink would run even when it was humid, but the paper would warp and everything would get all, as you well know, out of alignment. He had this kind of like aha, eureka moment on a train platform when he was in Pittsburgh. He realized that he could dry but air could dry by passing it through water to create fog. That was like he was like, what is like scientifically happening here? And he really just was thinking a lot about this printing press and was kind of like, I think, aha. So he realized once he got the engineering down of it, what kind of launched air conditioning into being like what we know of it as today was that he didn't talk about it as a solve for printing press. What he did was, and he was like, okay, printing press factories, you guys can have this, but what I really want to do is impact experiences. So he actually took the invention to department stores, and he was selling kind of the experience of your consumer, so that if your building is really hot and there's a bargain day going on and you have people passing out in the basement, that's not good for sales. So let's condition the air and be able to make more money off of the people who aren't passing out. And then that kind of rolled from department stores into, as we talked about, theaters. And
this is in the 20s?
this was like 1902 when he kind of first invented it, and then by 1925 he was bringing it to theaters, and he installed AC at a theater in Times Square, and that summer ticket sales went up by $100,000 in 1925 dollars. So it's like huge. So he then air conditioned over 300 theaters in the area over the next 5 years. So from like between 1922 to 1928, summer theater attendance went from 40 million a summer to weekly 40 million people going to the movies weekly to 80 million weekly in the span of like 6 years. And people were going for the movies, but they were really like, we need to be in the cool, dark, nice air. And that is kind of how Hollywood has that's why we have the summer blockbuster.
Hollywood could use an invention like that these days, huh? Because nobody's going to theaters.
That's why they have those reclining chairs where you can take a nap next to all your stranger friends. I hate it. I really hate it. Yeah. Okay, so that's like the pop culture impact. But then we get to politics. So obviously, as we were talking about, Congress just didn't work when it was too hot, and DC is, brutally hot.
Which is bull. Everyone else has to work.
That's right. Good point. So routinely, the congressional workers would just leave all summer. They're just like, we can't do it. The first
some things don't change.
It's so true. The first time DC tried to address its cooling problem was before Carrier invented the AC, and it was when President Garfield was dying from an assassin's bullet in 1881. Some engineers from, I think it was Navy, rigged up a system where they were blowing like a fan, blowing air over ice-soaked cotton sheets, which, didn't do much, but had some sort of cooling effect. But then in 1928, Carrier brought air conditioners to the Capitol, and they were able to then kind of stretch, the air conditioners were effective enough that they stretched their congressional calendar out to 10 months. I know. So that's great. Instead of
what do these units look like? Are they big?
They aren't that big. They're kind of don't look a lot that different than.
They're not like something you just put in your window.
They had window units. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just hanging out the side of the Capitol building. Well, we'll have to look. Or piped in, maybe
Yeah, I think there was pipe. They were sitting outside, and had
like you would with a big vent or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
So then, the knock-on effect was by the time Teddy Roosevelt was in office, the White House chandelier had to be removed because the breeze that was being caused by the air conditioning and the movement of the air made the chandelier rattle so loudly that he had it uninstalled and sent to his vice president saying he needs something to keep him awake. So then AC units, right after World War II ended, AC units hit the consumer market. So they weren't just commercial, and over 1 million units were sold in 1953 alone. And this is when Northern retirees started moving down south. They were really unwilling to handle the heat, and they were allowed for people to really move to the Sun Belt and populate it in a way not just I'm born and raised here, but now I can choose to come here. So this is speaking of electoral.
That's when Florida became a destination. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. So between 1940 and 1980, southern states, including Florida, gained 29 electoral college votes. So it went from just being who cares to oh shit.
Because of the air conditioner.
Mm-hmm. Northern and Rust Belt states in that same time, 1940 and 1980, lost 31 electoral college votes. So it was just
was this
air
when
conditioning.
The South flipped from
Probably.
Democratic to Republican?
I think it was actually before.
Was it before that?
I think it was before that. But the Sun Belt Coalition is made largely possible by AC, and that was crucial for Ronald Reagan's election in the 1980s.
Right.
Here's something. Every single presidential election winner between 1964 and 2000 was from a Sun Belt. Not possible without air conditioning. It moved millions of people, shifted political power, and kind of realigned, has like a Republican bent because of it. So then lastly, some of the negative effects that we're feeling, air conditioning accounts for 10% of global electricity consumption. And by 2050, cooling energy demand is projected to triple. And scientists believe that because we feel cooler, we take less seriously the impact of global warming, because we're like, I'm comfortable in this moment. You don't have to deal with it all the time. In some of the hottest countries, cooling represents over 70% of electrical demand.
Yeah.
And most of those countries run on coal to power their electricity, which just to be clear, I'm not like wagging a finger, just noting that because of AC, we definitely use our energy totally differently. And we we invented cooling to help us from the heat, and now it's like making the heat worse.
More.
Yeah. So,
pumping it all outside.
Totally. So this going from like this knock-on effect of like this kid who was just like, we got to make sure our printers can print on, dry paper. We got influences the summer blockbuster industry. We've got like, hopefully Congress works longer. But then politics. But triggered like the largest internal migration in U.S. history ever, elected Ronald Reagan, and is now accelerating climate change. All because this kid, he didn't want the ink to smudge and the paper to crinkle.
Sounds like it was more than a printer, though. He definitely is
is an engineer.
A very innovative fella. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very.
So
that's that.
So how did you end up there?
I started with the fork. And then I went, I was like, I want to talk about the fork.
So this is a true rabbit hole.
Yeah. And then I went to belts. And then I went to, what was after that? Seat belts. And then I was like, cars? And I was like, that's too broad. And then I went to air conditioning.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Incredible.
Yeah. That's that.
That's a truly a cold take.
I'm ready to hear about what you've prepared today.
Well, this is much more the right word, but we'll just start with a quiz. See where you're at, right? Okay, so first question. What is the most psychologically damning school experience? Is it failing a test? Being picked last in gym? Your voice cracking during attendance? Or accidentally calling the teacher mom?
Accidentally calling the teacher mom.
Incorrect.
No, that is wrong. Getting picked last in gym.
No.
What?
Actually, your voice cracking during attendance. Many never recover. Yes, it's traumatizing.
What?
Which
Doesn't
childhood
that just
phrase?
Impact boys?
Next question. Which childhood phrase created the most adults with anxiety? Is it, we need to talk? I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Everybody's waiting on you. Or interesting outfit choice.
Interesting outfit choice.
Incorrect. It's everybody's waiting on you.
Is this your personal experience?
That phrase alone created half the millennials currently apologizing to cashiers. Which childhood archetype is most likely to start a podcast?
Middle child.
Wait for it. Is it the funny kid who won't stop talking about her improv troupe? Is it B, the creative kid who doesn't know he's in a cult? Is it C, the smart academic with a newfound interest in the metaphysical? Or is it D, the Ren Fair nerd who won't stop talking about how awesome his girlfriend is?
E, all of the above.
Hey, you didn't fall for my trick question. It is all of the above, all combined in a trench coat, which coincidentally is an excellent segue to what I'd like to discuss today.
I'm ready.
Elaine.
Yeah.
Over the past several episodes, we've talked about dreams and rituals, personality, aging, siblings, music, perception, identity, memory, fear, all of the Friends on Purpose, items,
We've
right?
been busy.
Yeah. All these weird little things that make people who they are. And so after sitting with all of it and having heard it multiple times through editing, I started connecting dots that probably shouldn't be connected. But I think I've developed a theory that I'd like to present to you.
Okay.
And that theory is the adult human brain is just 3 childhood experiences in a trench coat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So psychologists will tell you that human behavior and personality is incredibly nuanced, deeply complex, but I'm here to ask the question, what if adulthood is just comprised of 3 things? 1 humiliating experience, 1 source of validation, and 1 deeply weird obsession, all stacked on top of each other, pretending to be an adult.
A human.
So, because I've been thinking about this, I've been noticing that every adult I know, including me, starts making way more sense once you identify the thing that embarrassed them, the thing that made them feel special, and the thing they got weirdly obsessed with at a young age and never emotionally left it behind. And once you see it, I don't think you're going to be able to unsee it. And so by the end of this presentation, you will either understand yourself on a profound emotional level or have to sit quietly in the dark for 45 minutes. Either way, growth.
Yeah.
So this is my personality test that I'm calling it. And the title I've given it is the trench coat theory.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. I'm ready.
So experience 1, the humiliation event. Now, this is important. Every adult has a defining humiliation event as a child, not trauma necessarily.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not that serious.
Right.
I'm talking about like the weird specific thing your nervous system
I know
just
exactly what
never
it was.
fully let go of. Yeah, exactly. Yep. You know exactly. Yeah.
You don't, yeah.
And so maybe you read out loud in class and pronounced a word wrong. Maybe your voice cracked during attendance. Maybe someone said your outfit, is a very interesting choice today. And that just permanently alters your DNA.
Right.
Forever. Forever. And psychologically, that moment becomes the first kid in this proverbial trench coat. Okay. So the humiliation. Yes. The one who holds the other 2. And so what I'm proposing or postulating, I guess, is that the humiliation event creates anxiety, hyper-awareness, people-pleasing, perfectionism, over-explaining, and in some cases, podcast hosting. Because humiliation doesn't disappear, it evolves. Okay. Have you ever met someone who rehearses ordering food at a restaurant?
Yes.
That's not personality. That's like a 6th grade injury, right? I mean,
right.
That's like you sprained your emotional ankle. And so I've developed 5 different humiliation event types. Okay. So the first one I'm calling the public failure. And that's where you embarrass yourself publicly. So this is again like your voice cracking when you say present, when the teacher calls your name, or you write the answer wrong on the whiteboard when you're doing math in front of the class or something like that. And that evolves into always having to over prepare for everything.
Right.
Always being on time. And, basically you're terrified of looking incompetent.
Foolish. Yeah.
Yes. The second is the weird kid realization. It's the moment you become aware of yourself from the outside. And this could be wearing something unusual or discovering your interests that are apparently like a lot for people. And so these sorts of things evolve into hyper aware of what people are thinking, into having cringe attacks at 2 a.m. That's not uncommon for the hyper, or the weird kid realization type. The third type is the authority shame. So this could be a teacher, a church leader, a coach, somebody in leadership above you embarrasses you publicly. So they could be calling you out. You could ask a stupid question and they just let you have it. And so that evolves into you panicking over criticism, becoming a people pleaser. You develop a perfectionism disguised as morality. So that covers the authority shame. The fourth is the social betrayal. Okay, so this is classic cafeteria trauma, where you're left out, you don't know where to sit, so you're kind of on the outside, or maybe you're victimized by like gossip or a fake friend. And so what this evolves into is you expecting rejection as like a default. You test people constantly, and loyalty matters a lot to you. And then the final humiliation event type is the performance shame. And so this is where you were good at something until one catastrophic failure. So maybe you forgot your lines in the play, you missed a game-winning shot. And so this evolves into you avoid just trying publicly. You're secretly competitive. And so these are the moments you become self-aware, like for the first major time in your life. And so it's like the horrifying realization as a child where you suddenly understood other people can perceive me.
Right.
And if that happens in a positive light, that's when those people become cool, is my theory.
When you get movie stars.
Yeah. But for most, we develop a rich inner fantasy lives with strong opinions about things like Star Wars or typography, in my case. Okay. So moving on. My second child in the trench coat, experience 2, the validation event. Now this one's beautiful, because while humiliation creates fear, validation creates your identity. Humans are incredibly easy to program. And, you compliment a child once and they'll build their entire personality around it. Your teacher says, wow, you're so creative. And boom, you are now the artist. You have 3 sketchbooks and a box of 96 Crayola crayons. And this is what I'm calling the creative one. And it's a blessing and a curse, because now you're doomed forever to stare at a blank canvas, a blank page, struggling with the writer's block, but also with replaying all of your life choices. Somebody laughs at your joke in 7th grade. Congratulations. You are the funny one, right? So now,
what's that like?
So now you're emotionally dependent on being funny forever.
Yeah.
Adults will spend decades chasing one successful emotion interaction from childhood. And I think we all know what that's like. If you got praised as a kid for being responsible, you're the mature one, and now you can no longer physically relax. Somebody called you pretty. Sorry, you're the attractive one now. And so good luck separating your self-worth with how people perceive you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those are my 5 validation types. So on to the third experience 3.
Third kid.
Top kid. I'm calling the weird obsession. Okay.
Okay.
You with me?
Yep. I'm here.
So now this is where the real personality lives, I think, because every child becomes obsessed with something bizarre, not like casually interested, like obsessed, So for example, dinosaurs or space or horses or books, horoscopes, sword collecting, despite, never seeing combat. Greek mythology, the Roman Empire, unfortunately, that was a thing. True crime, starting side hustles. Pompeii, that's an excellent one.
The Titanic.
Let's go.
These were mine.
Starting side hustles before puberty. Yeah. Survivalism, despite living in, the suburbs of Connecticut. The list goes on. And weirdly, that obsession never fully leaves. So adulthood is basically saying, I'm really into architecture, instead of just admitting you still think castles are cool. And so, yes, I have more categories for these. So again, I have 5. The first I call the lore goblin. You're a fantasy nerd. So think LARPing, D&D, Ren Fair. You have all the facts about, all of these things. But you also are like an overthinker, and you love hidden meanings. The disaster child loves Shark Week. The Titanic, obsessed with the weather, oddly calm during crisis, and watches documentaries to relax. The system builder, obsessed with systems, rankings, statistics. This could be like the accountant, but it also could be the sports fan. So they're also they like to organize for fun. They like to clean to relax. The next one is the old soul. They're obsessed with old things. So museums, antiques, history. They're romanticizing history. They wish they were born in an earlier time. And then finally, the existential child, which is somebody obsessed with space or the meaning of life, asking big questions at a very young age. They're like devoted to religion if they're brought up in religion, or the metaphysical. And they're the ones who are likely to become like a spiritual influencer or a cult leader, I guess.
Also, the existential child is an excellent band name.
That is.
Just for anyone looking for a band name.
Good call. Okay. So in determining these 3 experiences, you can basically reverse engineer any human being. And this is my theory. And build an adult, kind of like a Build-A-Bear, an emotional Build-A-Bear. So would you like to try it?
Oh,
because I've got you on here.
Ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So you combine, again, 1 humiliation event, 1 validation, and 1 obsession. And so, Elaine, if I were to put you through this algorithm, I would say that you are socially observant. I would say that you are funny, psychologically analytical, and emotionally organized. Do you think that's fair?
I think that's very fair.
Okay.
A nice reflection.
Which tells me, according to my types, that you are your humiliation event is social betrayal. Your validation is the funny one.
Mm-hmm.
And the last would be a system builder. So your obsession, which is
the system builder the one? Well, can you give me the reminder of what
the
system
system
builder
is? Organizes for fun, cleans to relax, obsessed with systems, statistics, spreadsheets.
Yeah. I think I'm a hybrid of like, I definitely, yes, systems builder, but my like the thing I guess if statistics falling into that is like history, I just love to like, yeah, like, but not the romantic, like
the
I
facts.
wish I was in, I didn't like wish I wasn't like cosplaying,
right.
Outlander. It was like, how did the aqueducts actually work?
So I've summed up a little paragraph, well, 2 sentences that kind of defines this. So I'm calling you a guidance counselor who discovered stand-up comedy, which explains why she can roast you and heal you all in the same conversation. Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Can I just tell you what my humiliation was?
Yes, please do.
In kindergarten, I had already moved like 3 times before, or first grade. Sorry. By first grade, I'd already moved 3 times. And I didn't know how to skip. Like I just like kind of missed that in gym or whatever. And Mrs. Benjamino, who I believe I've mentioned before, she was my gym teacher and I loved her so much.
Yeah.
She always referred to herself in the third person. Mrs. Benjamino asked all the little children to take a lap in the gym, skipping all in a line. And instead of skipping, because I didn't really know how, I just kind of like horseyed, like kept my feet in the same position, but like galloped along. And I was doing it with reckless abandon. I mean, I was really motoring around, and that caused Mrs. Benjamino to be like, Elaine, lift your knees. You're not skipping. And so that I just like galloped harder. And then I failed that day in gym and I had to stay after.
What?
Because it was like learning to skip was like a really important part of child development or something. And so I had to go to skipping tutoring. But it was great because I got one-on-one time with Mrs. Benjamino.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
But I was just like, because I was the new kid and I didn't know how to skip, and everyone was like, "I don't know how to skip." It was so embarrassing.
Well, when I was coming up with your trench coat, I was thinking of the story you told about your misheard lyrics, Nirvana lyrics, because that's what I had fresh in my brain, which seemed very social betrayal.
In containers.
Yeah.
I believe I told people for a really long time that I don't get embarrassed. And I don't, like, if I fall or whatever, I don't feel super embarrassed. But what resonated with what you were saying, the way you were describing it, is that like my Mrs. Benjamino experience coupled with like my household, it is like incredibly important to my like foundational child to always know the right answer, always be able to do it right. Like it's not okay to like not know. So that child is always like, I know how to skip. It's okay. Like,
yeah.
I don't need skipping practice. I already learned how to skip.
Yeah. And so you can see kind of the theory is working, right?
It is.
Which is really exciting to me because I literally just came up with this week.
Okay, let's hear yours. I want to hear Eric's.
Okay, mine is the weird kid realization.
Yeah.
Realizing I'm feeling things way harder than anyone else. The creative one, obviously, and then the old soul. So I'm a man restoring antique presses while discussing symbolic dream theory.
Yeah, you are.
That's me.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like our trench coat kids would really get along.
Yeah, well, they do.
Yeah, they do.
So this conclusion might leave you asking, can people change?
Yeah.
Or is our growth just predetermined by random childhood damage? And I think yes, we can change, but maybe growth isn't becoming someone completely different. Maybe it's just finally understanding where your fears come from, what shaped you, and what parts of yourself deserve compassion instead of shame. Because honestly, like, most people are not random. They make emotional sense, and you just have to know the lore, right? And maybe adulthood is slowly realizing inside the trench coat isn't some broken person.
Yeah.
It's just a scared kid. It's just a hopeful kid.
Yeah.
It's just a weird little kid who loves something deeply enough to just carry it with them forever.
It reminds me of a therapy that I've done where you're like healing your inner child, right? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah,
and so there's like that visualization where you like take the hand of that child and like tell it the things that you, because like the idea is, like we have an inner child who's like acting out from these wounds. And like I have worked a lot on, it's like the first step, like recognizing like it's very ingrained in me to have the right answer. Like that's important. And once you recognize it and name it, you can be like in a moment where you feel yourself getting like anxious or frustrated and you're like, I don't, like putting a mantra to it. Like, I don't have to know.
Right.
Like me literally saying, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you on that.
Right.
Is like therapeutic.
It's powerful.
Yeah. Very much.
You know, I think as kids, we're kind of, I don't know if we're programmed or this is just how a kid thinks, but like we're going to be different people when we're adults.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think what I'm doing mostly now is, just trying to become an adult that isn't abandoning the children that got me here. The three guys inside me are like, hey, this is who I am,
Yeah.
And embracing that. And so
that's a beautiful theory. I love it.
Oh, I will say that I had enough content here that I by the time of this podcast release, I will have a link in the description that will take you to the trench coat theory personality test. So if you want to find out what your 3 trench coat children are, you can go.
Did you build it with AI?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
No, it's so cool. And I tested it out with Emily and it was spot on. So there's a few little kinks to work out, but I have a week until this was posted. So folks, if you are interested, links in the description. Have fun.
Super cool. Wow. Yeah. I love it. You should have all your siblings do it. Wow. I love it. Yours was definitely more deep than mine. That's for sure.
Well,
I guess that's just what our kids told us.
I was just really inspired, kind of looking over our set list of episodes and just like this season has been really fun, which I think is a good lead into that this is our finale season for season 2, which means nothing. We're not changing anything. We're gonna keep going, except that we are going to take a 2-week break?
A 2-week break, a week, a 2-week. We don't, we're just gonna take a second to just catalog a few of these so we can not feel so anxious if someone needs to take a Thursday off.
Right. So we're basically sandbagging a few weeks so that we can keep moving on a regular, relaxed schedule.
Yep. I will say that in between season 1 and 2, our executive producer, Graham, bought us new microphones. So who knows what will happen between season 2 and 3? I don't know. That remains to be seen.
A physical studio location?
Yeah, I guess it'll have to be in North Carolina, but...
He does want us to come down.
I know. I guess next season will be, a couple of on-site recordings.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to figure something out.
Thanks for wrapping up all of those topics. When you listed off all the things that we had talked about, it's like, we're covering a lot.
Yeah, this is episode 22, I think.
My God, we're up there with Smartless and Good Hang. Amy Poehler, watch out. Coming for your numbers.
All right, we should splash down.
Let's splash down. I have so many things I want to catch. What's a sploosh-doon? I have so many things I wanted to tell you, and I didn't tell you this week because I wanted it to feel fresh and fun on our podcast. I have two new slang, high school slang words to teach you. Well, 3, I think. Have you heard the kids say unk?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I don't need to teach you that.
How about there's a funny, am I a chopped unk?
You are a chopped unk. Have you heard of chud?
Chud, no, but that reminds me, I just learned that a tube of pepperoni is called a chub.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yes.
Like,
which explains some other slang.
Yeah. Is that really what it's called? I
looked it up. That a chub of pepperoni or a chub of sausage. So what's a chud?
Okay, a chud is how you describe someone who's like a loser, pathetic, lazy, nothing. And you might use it against someone else in a derogatory manner, or you might use it derogatorily to yourself, self-deprecatingly. So you might say, ugh, I was a chud all day. I just couch rotted,
Okay.
Or you might be like, my boss, such a chud, always asking me to do his work for me, for him.
Create PDFs for him.
Exactly. So yeah, chud came out, and I was like, cool. And then I ran back to my office and Googled it.
Chud seems like a good one. Chud seems like it could last.
Well, and its origins are actually from a 1980s movie, cannibalistic humanoid.
So a popular
something. Well, hold on.
Sounds like one of those long lost cult classics.
The movie was called Chud, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller.
Oh, it's an acronym.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was 1984. And then it had, just most importantly, I want you to know that it had 2 sequels, Chud 2, and then oh no, just one, sorry. Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
Bud the Chud?
Yeah. Bud was the Chud, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Just for
I kind of feel like I have to too. It actually looks
science,
Yeah, the movie poster, Chud. They're not staying down there anymore. Yeah, they're not cute. Anyway, so that was Chud. You already know chopped. You already know unk. Chuz, chopped huz. And that
What's
one's just like, I don't know. I really don't know.
This is as bad as us trying to figure out how to say Hosier's name.
Hoosier? Hosier?
It's so bad. I listened back to it and I'm like, oh my God. For people who like his music, they can't even say his freaking name.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Connie. I'm sorry, Sophia.
Sorry,
that must have been
Connie.
so frustrating for you guys.
Hosier.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Hosier.
I don't think
I went and looked it up. Oh, I can't leave this in. We can't do it again.
Ireland.
We can't do it again. It's got to be so painful to listen to.
Pronunciation. The Irish singer-songwriter said it's actually pronounced like Hosier. He said if you pronounce it wrong, you can very much be forgiven. Because that's just like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's Hosier.
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 All right.
Okay.
Correcting the record.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with the kids and their slang. Anyway, what's going on in your life?
We finished Hill House.
Oh, and
which was excellent.
It was good. It's really good, right?
It was very good.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it was surprisingly deep. And like I really liked the way they portrayed the brothers and the sisters. I thought it was very I don't know if accurate's the right word, but like
you felt it was like relatable and like authentic.
Yeah. And then like the twists or the reveals were really satisfying. And you know, the house was the bad guy, which was kind of cool.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that wraps up. That's season 2.
Yeah.
Which
so
again,
we're not taking a break. We're still recording.
No, we're keeping on here. We're just giving ourselves some summer buffer.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah. It's been great.
It's been real.
Been neat.
Nice.
We really appreciate your
support. And thank you to our local sponsor, Chud. Bye.
I'll see you next week.
Turn it off.
Ah, okay.
Let's turn it off.